Minister Manmohan Singh explains India's vote against Sri Lanka at the UNHRC, says the resolution is balanced. Ahead of the Nuclear Security Summit in South Korea, Prime Minister says India's priority is to assure nuclear safety and security to its people. As the anti-nuclear protest enters its sixth day, police react with caution as thousands of villagers defy prohibitory orders. The Lankan government denies the United Nations charge of intimidating pro-Tamil activists at the UNHRC. Tamil Nadu government announces special education incentives for the Lankan students in the refugee camps across the state. Chain snatching on the rise in Chennai with 6 consecutive instances recently. Welcome. With the nation just having supported the UN resolution against Sri Lanka and having to face the consequences, we bring you all the growing tension and more of what's making news across the nation during the next 30 minutes as you are watching News Tonight with me, Linda Hercules. But first, a quick look at the national headlines. Maoists abduct a BJD MLA from Karapur district, while 2 Italian nationals kidnapped 10 days ago are still hostage. Naveen Patnaik speaks to Chidambaram. Thousands of villagers in several cities protest the central excise on unbranded jewellery and increase in customs duty on gold imports. In an exclusive to NDTV, Virat Kohli says he made a few mistakes but did not change at heart because that's what keeps him going. And Australia on the verge of losing a one-day series to West Indies for the first time in 17 years. News in detail. Following the vote against Sri Lanka in the recently concluded UN meet, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh offered Sri Lanka an olive branch, explaining India's vote against it. The Prime Minister in his letter said that Delhi made every effort to ensure the resolution was balanced. He also added that it is India's conviction that a meaningful devolution package would lead towards a lasting political solution. Did Sri Lankan delegates attending the UN vote on human rights violations deliberately intimidate activists who were present? According to the UN Human Rights Chief, Sri Lankan delegates in Geneva threatened and harassed those who testified on the abuses against the Tamil community during the last days of LTTE control in the north of the island. Sri Lanka narrowly lost the vote at United Nations Human Rights Council, where India had voted against its long-term ally.
They're abused in many ways, verbally, by text messages, telephone calls, accosted in corridors. There were even incidents outside the UN premises as well as inside. Very intimidating photography and filming taking place, people putting cameras right in people's faces, against the rules. I mean, that's not supposed to be happening in these events.
But Sri Lanka denies the charges. This is what Sri Lankan President's internal media spokesperson Bandula Jayasankara had to say.
I can tell you something personally, which I witnessed when I was with Ms. Arun Thambimuthu yesterday. The LTTE members, they were going at and spreading rumors. There's no truth into it. And like when day before yesterday, when this resolution was passed, and it's really appalling the way these activists and these LTTE members inside UNHRC, they even applauded. It is unprecedented. We wonder how come they are not pulled up. I mean, there is no truth to it, and the campaign continues. And these are responsible people who are in this Sri Lankan government delegation.
Narrowing it down to what's happening in Tamil Nadu, the government announced special education incentives for the students in the refugee camps across the state to pursue their higher studies. To facilitate the Sri Lankan Tamil refugee students, the government has also decided to allocate and reserve seats for them in hostels in the government-run educational institutions. Special incentive aid of Rs 1,200 will be presented for the refugees pursuing BA course, Rs 1,250 for BSc course, Rs 1,330 for pursuing ME, and Rs 1,650 for the refugee students pursuing MSc courses will be provided by the state government. Rs 2,750 will be provided as incentive for those pursuing BE and 4,700 rupees for those pursuing MBBS courses. Infrastructural upgradation will also be undertaken in the refugee camps at a cost of Rs 25 crores. And moving on, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh is all set to attend the Nuclear Security Summit in South Korea, where he will present the safeguards taken by India against nuclear terrorism and concerns over safety. Speaking ahead of his visit to South Korea, the Prime Minister said, India is expanding its nuclear power program to diversify its energy mix and enhance energy security. I will highlight the high priority we attach to nuclear security, safety and non-proliferation, and our impeccable record in this regard. Singh said that in order to retain public support for harnessing the benefits of nuclear energy, we must be able to assure them of the highest levels of nuclear security and safety. And meanwhile, the indefinite strike of the Kudankulam protesters demanding the permanent closure of the nuclear plant entered its 6th day today. 15 protesters, including SP Uday Kumar and Pushparayan, are on an indefinite fast in Idandakarai in Kudankulam. Thousands of fishermen of Nellai district visited the venue and conveyed their support to the fast. Social activist Medha Patkar also staged a protest against the project at Jantar Mantar in New Delhi. And the latest news has it that normalcy is returning in Kudankulam and additional police forces are also being withdrawn. Well, work may have resumed at the nuclear plant, but villagers protesting against the plant are gearing up for a long struggle. They are scared to go out of the village fearing arrests. So they are stocking adequate essential supplies. Fishing communities are sending them truckloads of essential supplies, and Sam Daniel has more on this.
I'm at Idandakarai, the ground zero for the anti-nuclear protests in Tamil Nadu's Tirunelveli district. Police say normalcy has returned to Kudankulam and the other adjoining villages, but people here at Idandakarai say the village is still tense because villagers, according to them, are not able to go out freely for fear of arrest. So what they've done is they've ordered a truck full of essential supplies, including rice, dal and other items, and they're unloading it now. The idea is to make people remain here without having to go outside, and people also say that even if the Kudankulam plant is commissioned, they will continue to gather here every day between 3,000 to 5,000 people to protest, to demand closure of the upcoming Kudankulam plant. And police say they will not harass people who are protesting in a peaceful way, but law will take its course on wrongdoers. And police also deny charges, allegations that they are blocking essential supplies into this village. Rather than they blame the villagers for blocking the road to prevent entry of police, because of which free movement of traffic is still a huge challenge. I did in the Garai with camera person Chandran, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
And as a little respite from power cuts in the state, the government has increased subsidies for many small and medium-scale industries on usage of power generators. The government has announced an increase in subsidies for the industrial sector. 25% of the generator cost, or 1 lakh rupees, will be presented as subsidies for industries that use generators with 125 kVA power. For industries that use generators with 320 kVA power, the subsidies has been increased to 5 lakhs.
To ensure the long-term energy security of
Moving on, the differently challenged folks in the city have a new reason to smile as a host of welfare schemes was announced by the government. Special coaching centers are set to be set up in 20 districts across the state for children below 6 years. Specially designed scooters will be presented to 400 specially abled. High sensitive hearing aids will be presented to 1,000 hearing impaired students. This will cost an expenditure of 2 crores to the government, and it will also bear the interest rate for the loans obtained by the specially abled. Moving on, the instances of chain snatching is on a constant rise in the city. 6 consecutive instances of chain snatching near Porur has shocked the residents. Women who walk alone in deserted streets remain the targets of the chain snatchers who arrive in two-wheelers. The locals allege there has been no considerable difference despite increased police patrolling. The people demand stern actions against the culprits and a permanent solution to the menace.
நடந்து வந்துட்டே இருந்தேன். அப்புறம் நடந்து வந்து சந்தோஷ் நகராண்ட டேர்னிங்காண்ட வந்துட்டு பேக் சைடில் வந்து 2 வீலர் ஹெல்மெட் எதுவுமே போடல. திடீர்னு பிடிச்சி இழுத்தான் செயினை. எனக்கு அந்த டைம் என்ன தோணுன்னு தெரியல. அப்படியே கீழே விழுந்துட்டாங்க. நான் அப்படியே பிடிச்சிட்டே இறங்கிட்டோடனே சரடு மாத்திரம் இருந்துச்சு, செயின் மாத்திரம் அறுத்துட்டு போயிட்டாங்க.
ஆல்டர்னேட் டேஸ் எவ்ரி 2 to 3 days இங்கே நடக்குது. இங்கே செயின் ஸ்நாச்சிங் நடக்குது. அங்கே புஷ் பண்ணி விட்டுறாங்க. லேடிஸ் பின்பக்கமாக வந்து செயினை பிடிச்சிட்டு கீழே புஷ் பண்ணி விடுறாங்க. அவங்க எழுந்துக்கிறதுக்குள்ள தீஸ் பீப்பிள் ரன் அவே.
We'll move into a short break now. National news awaiting you on the other side.